Alright guys, welcome back. Yesterday I did get out here in the garage and do some paint work. I did not record any of it simply because I was trying to get some stuff done and I didn't have time to record and get it done in one day. And it's really just, it's paint work. It's the same stuff you've seen me do before. I didn't do a whole lot. I just did the door jamb of this door here so I could let it cure before I flipped it over and did both doors. So I actually have both doors left to do. But I did get the top of the hood done. I did show you that I sanded it down, but I didn't record any of the sanding or the paint process at the top here. The paint turned out okay. There is a lot of orange peel on the hood, and there's some trash in here that's going to have to be sanded down and buffed. No, not a surprise, really. Things didn't go as well as I wanted to yesterday because it was kind of cold out. And I had the garage warm, but as soon as you open this door up and you turn the fans on, it cools it down really fast. So the compressor was running, and as the heated air comes out of that hose, it cools down quite a bit, especially when the air temperature is so low, and there was a lot of condensation inside the hose itself, and that made it through to the paint. And luckily a lot of that cleared up as it dried, but there are some small spots here and there that will have to be sanded out, just like I said. So I'm going to actually buy a, what do you call it, a desiccant that goes on the gun itself to hopefully fix that issue next time I go to paint, because the next thing I'm going to be painting are the doors here and then the car itself, and I don't really want to run into this problem every single time I paint. So that's just a live and learn situation. I learned that water definitely does not help. I did have a desiccant on the actual compressor itself, but the water formed in the hose, so that could be a problem. Today's video though, I'm going to jump over here to these bumpers and the front bumper lip, and I'm going to use some SEM trim black. I'm going to get this all masked off, painted up with that trim black paint, and hopefully these will turn out nice. I have a feeling they will. That trim black lays down really smooth. As you can see on the ZC spoiler here, it laid down really smooth. It looks really good. It's going to match that. And I'm actually going to use that same paint on all of the door trim as well as the lower trim, so everything will match. And I'll have to do the cowl as well. I haven't cleaned up any of that door trim or the cowl or any of that. I haven't had time to prep it, so I'm going to wait to do that another day. Today is just going to be focused on that bumper. Hopefully we'll get that knocked out, and then we'll keep moving along from there. Alright, got everything sprayed in. I went ahead and pulled the masking off, and I did find some bad news on the masking. That tape that I was originally using, that orange tape, is actually an off-brand tape. I bought it for some of these fine line masking areas, but since it's an off-brand, it really didn't have great adhesive, and the material itself didn't have the flexibility I needed around these edges. And so some of that paint got through onto the painted surface here. The SEM trim got onto the clear coat. And so what it did was that solvent that's in that SEM trim, it actually dissolved the clear coat and it made it all the way through the paint. So there are 3 spots right here around this corner here that are without clear coat and probably without paint as well. It looks like it's down to the plastic. And the only thing you can do here is either touch it up with some paint and clear coat and sand it and try to get it buffed out, or sand this whole section down all the way around the bumper and just base coat here and then re-clear the whole section. So I really don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'm going to think about it. I don't know if it's going to be worth sanding that all the way down and redoing it, but since I still have to paint the car and I have to paint the doors, I'm going to have all that mixed up anyway. So I may end up just sanding that area there, throwing some base coat or primer and base coat, and then just re-clearing that whole strip that goes all the way around the bumper. I will have to mask it all off again, so I'm going to probably buy some different tape. That yellow tape that I use is actually really good tape. It's 3M. The lines on it are great. These corner areas here are really tough to mask off because of the curve, so you really got to be careful on that. I really didn't get the right kind of tape. I know they make a vinyl tape that will flex around that turn, and that's probably what I should have gotten. So hindsight, I'm going to have to redo that most likely. The bumpers look great. The SEM trim paint, it really does lay down awesome after it dries. It looks really nice. I just wish I would have gotten the right tape. Oh well, I mean, live and learn. Again, another situation where you mess up and then you just have to go back and redo your work and then actually use a different method the next time, and hopefully it'll turn out better. I'm pretty happy with it otherwise. I mean, everything else looks great. The bumpers look brand new. I'm going to have to sand it all down and buff the areas here on top. There's a little bit of orange peel on the rear bumper. And otherwise, this will all be re-cleared most likely, so we'll see how it turns out next time. Thanks for joining. We'll see you in the next one.